from the regular live, because that's not going to be running this week. So yeah, might even just send a text message to let some people know what's happening here. Okay, well, I got one like, but I got no views, so let's just keep doing this for a while. Those of you who know that when I do these lives, when I've scheduled a stream, it tends to stuff up, basically. I don't know what's going on with scheduling these live streams out in the field. I've scheduled them home on the computer, but they're just not working at all. Oh, hey guys, welcome aboard. I haven't got my microphone with me tonight because, as we well know, the sound was a bit shit, for want of a better way to describe it. G'day Ree, g'day JK, g'day Noel. I'm glad you guys found the new stream. I'm going to have to work on this. Yeah, same issue as last week. So I keep trying, but it just doesn't work according to how it's supposed to work. Perhaps in the future I'll set up these live streams live from the phone rather than from the computer. That might be what's happening. Anyway, welcome to Murray Bridge. There's a bit happening just behind me there. I'm going to go get my microphone and turn it on. So what I will do is I will flip the camera around and I'll go get the microphone. Okay, let's clip the mic in, see if it takes over. Looks like it will. And then I will turn the microphone on. Okay. Let's see if that's achieved anything, if the sound's any better. You know me. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. You know me, I do tend to experiment a fair bit. Maybe one of these days I'll stop experimenting and just settle down and do my thing, you know. But I can't stop experimenting and trying new things and whatnot. Thank you for leaving a comment on the old stream, Noel. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that too, Noel. This was a $30 wireless microphone set. I'm well aware that the DJI ones, which is what I really want, is probably over $200 for the full techie stuff. So let's see how we go in the future. Excellent. Well, we'll see what happens when if we're still here when these trains come past. I've spent the last week, or since Friday, as you would know from the Belair stream, that no expense spared. I buy all the best stuff from Amazon. Yeah, always trying something new. Since Friday, I've been getting out and about, sometimes in the heat, to get footage of all of the railway locations between Adelaide Station and Tailem Bend Station. I've got all of the footage now. I actually had to come back out to Murray Bridge because I expected to have a shot of the old turntable when I got home on Sunday, but somehow I'd managed to do the old press the button to stop recording, and then while I think I'm recording, I'm actually not recording, which is a huge fail on the part of the DJI Pocket 2. It's got such a tiny screen, so it's sometimes a bit hard to see whether or not you're recording or not. And so yeah, that was the last shot, and I felt it was a really important shot. So as of now, I've gotten all the shots for my main Southline video. So I'll go into editing on that one and put it all together and hopefully have that out in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how we go with editing and how long it takes. I suspect this is going to be the biggest project that I've ever done. So it will take a while, but you know, at least the research is done, the filming is done, photograph sourcing is done. It's time to mash it all together and shake it out and see what comes up. Definitely not Temu, JK. You know, being active in digital marketing in the world of that stuff, I do stay abreast of what the issues are, and I would not touch Temu and Shine with a 10-foot barge pole. Yeah, JK, I was just saying before, that turntable is the reason why I'm up here tonight. Because I missed the shot the first time. So I thought as I came back out here, I'd get a few more interesting shots around Petwood, around Nan, and around Bridgewater. I walked into Arbury Park to try and find the remnants of the old Cox Creek Iron Bridge, which is there. There's now a giant embankment there. And like so many things, it's just so impressive how much has disappeared and how much all the traces of it have been eliminated. What wasn't impressive was I actually caught the train on Saturday from Belair down to Adelaide and back again, just so I could say I'd travelled the line. And it really sort of demonstrated why trains are generally losing traction in South Australia, or the Belair line at least anyway. It was very quiet. I don't see how that service makes any money at all. But at any rate, that's enough of my opinionated rant on things around South Australia, on trains in particular. I'll take the gimbal off the tripod now. We'll go for a bit of a walk around the Murray Bridge Railway Precinct. Get ready to spin, sorry. Oh, I really should just unclip this instead of spinning it around, but you know what? Spinning it around's mildly exciting. Okay. Center, you thing. Right. Well, go for a wander around Murray Bridge now. If a train does happen to come along, can you just remind me to switch the lapel mic off? Because the lapel mic is absolutely terrible at recording ambient sound, which I guess is kind of the point. I was here the other day and I just happened to be here at the time the overland came through. By the end of the day on Friday, I was actually quite bored of train spotting. I'd seen enough trains. It was time to head home. I think I ended up spotting 9 trains in one day there. So that's certainly a new personal best. There's some beautiful old cottages here. I'm not sure what that cottage up on the hill there is. There's but that is part of the whole precinct. If you look directly now in the center of the shot, that's where the old cutting used to go through to the old Murray Bridge, and I'll be telling that story of the change of bridges in 1925 in the up and coming video. Could very well be Station Master's cottage. I'll have to go back to my books and find out a bit more. As far as I know, though, these cottages over here that we're looking at now were station masters, cottages, and railway staff. I'm pretty sure I got footage of that pasted to the door of one of them. Welcome aboard to the extra people who have jumped on board. We're now up to 9 people now. Lucky I don't do this for money, eh? So we're looking at, basically, this is the original station build. Well, it's not the original station building. There was a station building in the space in front of this building here. That's why the platform is so wide. And it was replaced by the Benithan designed building in 1910s, 1915, I think, right off the top of my head. And then you have the refreshment rooms, which were once super important and were expanded in the 20s. It's now a community centre called the Station. I bet they had to think long and hard about that. Oh, g'day, Hookstagram. Yeah, thanks for the compliment there. Struggle to get off the ground sometimes with these live streams, but, you know, we persevere. So hopefully you'll subscribe and drop in on the channel. We do this every Wednesday night at 8:15 p.m. and I'm making the most of daylight saving to get out and about, basically. And so, I don't know, somebody's still home in there in the Station Community Centre. I'm just basically going for a bit of a wander around the station now. This has long been a stomping ground of mine. I've run events here on the waterfront at Murray Bridge, and now I'm chasing railway ghosts here at Murray Bridge as well. It's interesting that, I don't know, what do you call it, alcove or whatever. It's an outie alcove, not an innie alcove, but I'm guessing at some point maybe an information booth or perhaps ticketing, I don't know, but there's definitely ticket windows at the front of the station. And then as we continue on looking up the line towards Adelaide, so to speak, we're basically sort of looking northwest at the moment, and the platform stretches off for another couple of 100 metres. It's an exceptionally long platform. I guess back in the days when trains were much longer than they are, but generally speaking, the overland might be a 6-carriage affair these days, and it well and truly fits into the platform. Hello, Shane Oace. Welcome aboard, sir. Thanks for finding this stream after I stuffed up the other stream. I've got to stop scheduling live streams that I plan to do out in the field from my computer. They don't, when I go to pick up the scheduled stream on my mobile phone, it doesn't want to play ball. It only finds the streams that I've scheduled from my phone. So I'm slowly learning how to do this. Maybe by next year, I'll actually be able to get it right and get it smooth. But that's what Good Chats is all about, basically. Flip the camera back around again. So yeah, the sun is definitely set and the phone does a great job of keeping the lighting going. I'll tell you an interesting story, actually. I was on my way up here and I stopped at Balhanna and I got the drone out to get some new footage. I was going to use perhaps my old footage. G'day, Chris Johnson, sir. Welcome aboard. I was going to use some of my old footage, but I decided to get some new footage of Balhanna since I had the time and I was making this trip back out to the bridge. And so here we are. But when I was at Balhanna, I noticed a couple of people in their van across the other side of the railway line, car campers by the look of it, cool dudes. And I shouted out to them, I said, hey, I hope you don't mind, I'm just going to put a drone up, I'm just getting footage of the station. He was like, cool. And then he said to me, do you have a YouTube channel? And I'm like, wait. And he's like, yeah, no, I think I recognize you. I think I've just been watching your videos. I've just been sitting in the van here, just watching your video on the Borough line. I'm like, Outdoorstype? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh man, I got to come over and shake your hand, man. And I thought, that is just so, we were both just so blown away. You know, I just get out of the car and I go to drone and do what I normally do when there's people nearby and give them a bit of a heads up of what I'm doing. And what a strange coincidence that this bloke had literally just been watching some of my videos. So yeah, hey Steve, thanks for coming on board. I promise to not stuff this up again next week, but who knows, with daylight saving coming to an end, or still, you know, coming to an end, but it's getting a bit dark at 8:15 these days. Who knows how much longer these outside streams will last, but I do need to work on scheduling them. But hey, as Chris said, it's all part of the fun. Live streaming is a very inexact science. So unless you have a corporate setup or an IT setup or a team of people basically to look after this shit and work out all the pitfalls, I'm just going to keep making errors until I've made all the errors. I'm not sure I'll ever make all the errors, but there'll always be something to stuff up. So I don't know how far these trains are away. We'll go for a walk out to the front of the station now, and have a bit of a look out there. There we go. Thanks, Jeremy, for that info. What's the time now? I honestly actually can't see the time because I've got the stream on my phone. What is the time? Can I get my phone to show me the time? Yes, it's 8:36. 19 minutes, mate. So we'll give it a go, eh? We should have a bit of light left, and the station here, at least, unlike Tailem Bend, is pretty well lit. So we'll hopefully have enough light to hang around here. Going to flip the camera around again. We'll go have a look at Murray Bridge. Bit of action there on Railway Terrace at Murray Bridge. By the look of things and what I overheard, a disoriented old gentleman needed a bit of a hand in getting home. So that's really cool that there's, you know, people here to look after that. Oops, and there's police as well, come to collect his bike. So this is the front of, I'm thinking, what is the old refreshment rooms? I would have to find an old station plan or something like that, but I love these beautiful old sandstone buildings with the framing and the quoins above the door, and the same thing with the windows as well. It's just beautiful, timeless design, and I don't know about you guys, but I just don't think they build them with this intention to have some beauty to it as much as they used to back then. In fact, I know that. I mean, I just visited all of the stations on the line on the way up here. And I'd say probably the worst was Adelaide Showground Station. They spent an awful lot of money on that station. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to date very well, because it looks a bit like some kind of internet nightmare. And I just wish they'd give some thought to perhaps a bit of architectural design and stuff like that, as they do here. But the almighty dollar rules, I guess. That'd be funny. Oh well, might get introduced to some new fans, hey? But if we have a look in here, these are some of the old, this is the old steps. I did some footage down here the other day, and this is one of those spaces where, you know, the old worn steps could tell a story about the amount of people that have come over them and where they were going and where they were from. And I wonder how many people walked up to this ticket window to get their tickets to either Melbourne or Adelaide or any one of the stations in between. Oh, g'day, O'Malley. No worries. No worries about being late around here. Tend to stuff it up myself, and it always takes a while to settle the live stream down and get into things. We'll be going for probably the next 20 minutes or so. Yo, Andy. Probably be going for the next 20 minutes or so. See if we can fit in some train action, because I'm not a train spotter, but somehow over the last week I've spent so much time by the railway lines that I've ended up spotting a bunch of trains. We are live at the bridge. There was some police action just before, but no, it wasn't crackhead action. It was, just a lost old bloke. Interesting how when I use the reverse camera, the Murray Bridge sign is now unmirrored. But when I do this and flick it around, the bloody thing flips on the horizontal and becomes Egderb Yarum. It's just so many things to learn about streaming and taking video and doing all that kind of stuff. Whoops. But finally bit the bullet and got the DJI handheld gimbal to use with my phone, so I can do these streams. I've got the $30 microphone here. I'm not entirely sure how that's working. When I listened back to the Mount Lofty stream the other week, I was fairly happy with the sound quality of the microphone until the train came past. And then the sound quality through the microphone, I literally wanted to scratch my face off listening to it. So I'm really sorry for the end of that stream. You really, really have to love trains to want to put yourself through that noise. Yeah, interesting. That's I think your front-facing cameras are generally always mirrored. That's about the best I can do now. Well, you know what? At least if they swipe the tripod, then it'll be on camera. Hey, Andy, I've been out at Murray Bridge again to get one shot, basically. It was a pretty big shot of not really a big shot. It's going to be like a 10-second shot, right? But it's a shot of the turntables at the old Murray Bridge yards. I got home on Saturday and was reviewing the footage and did the old press the button thinking you're recording. What you're actually doing is not recording, and so then when you finish recording, you press the button to record, and all you do is record the ground as you walk back to the car. Happens more often than you'd think. So I did some extra footage along the way out at Balhana and Nan and Cox's Creek at Bridgewater. Went for a bit of a hike. Where else? Petwood, a couple of the other spots along the way. And I thought, why not? I'll just fit it all in and do the stream while I'm out here as well. Yeah, and Murray Bridge and the freeway and me, we're pretty familiar. Murray Bridge to Adelaide is a bit of a, I don't know, it's a bit of a commute for me. There has been projects and cases that I've spent days up here working in Murray Bridge and back to Adelaide at night time, so kind of a bit used to it. It's a bit like going to work. Callington is a real town. It's a bit of a ghost town, but it is definitely a real town. There's nothing open there anymore. There's some art galleries, and there used to be a really cool cafe there at Callington, actually, really cool French cafe. But that is no longer. So yeah, just one of those rail town. Sorry. Yeah, well, it is a real town, right? But it's not a rail town. I managed to find the old station buildings and whatnot, but as you'll see, these days it's very sterile. The old station building at Callington's now a private residence. What a cool private residence that would be. Something I learned today for everybody who might be in the market for real estate, I stopped by the old Ambleside station on Onkaparinga Valley Road near Harndorf there. And if you know the area there, Lot 31, which is the site of the old Ambleside station, there's an old railway gate there. It's actually for sale. So there is yet another railway location for sale at the moment. There's no station there, unfortunately. It was really interesting to me to see the old images of Ambleside station. It was quite a substantial station, right? But like so many others, they've done a fantastic job of erasing them. One can only hope that these buildings and this old early 1900s architecture can be preserved. For those of you who haven't been around Murray Bridge for a while, you can see down there now the Bridgeport Hotel. 2016, 17, I was still coming up here and doing events, and the Bridgeport Hotel was still the crappy old stucco white building with the crappy old bottle shop and stuff. I think it's still got the crappy old bottle shop, but it's now been converted into a quite big multi-story modern hotel. It's a bit of a landmark around here now. And again, for those who love their trains and stuff, if you book a table at the bistro and you ask for the southernmost table on the balcony, you'll effectively get a look straight down the 1925 railway bridge over the River Murray. Same thing, if you were booking rooms there, you can literally get rooms that look straight down the line of the newer bridge over the River Murray, which I think would make for excellent views, and also probably enable those without a drone to get something that approaches a drone shot. Just going to do a bit of a time check now, 8:46, so I've got to talk for 9 minutes. I'll turn the camera around because what I'm looking at now is actually, it's quite dark. We're basically nearly nighttime here now. And so it may be getting a little bit blurry, is probably the only problem. That's a really good question, O'Malley. Do you think they overdid it? I'm presuming there was some kind of case for it to be built the way that it was, because it looks like it cost a whopping amount of money. And I think it'll be good for Murray Bridge overall, and hopefully it'll become a bit of a regional magnet. I guess awkwardly for them, though, at the same time you had the luxury hotel built out at the Bend motorsport track at Tailem Bend. So, those of you who have been around Murray Bridge and Tailem Bend a long time, they've completely changed. Certainly the Bend Motorsport Park is a huge development, and certainly the Bridgeport Hotel is another huge development as well. Yeah, it is interesting, the difference between the two cameras, Nolan, and that's another reason why I love just getting out here and testing things and stuffing things up, just to find out where the mistakes can be made and where the limits of everything are. That's hence why I had to get the phone gimbal to stabilize that, because the outdoor live streams were just shocking. Oh, look who's come in late. We've got Kane's Trains. Thank you, Kane, for coming on board. And PTG, go check out both of those channels, Kane's Trains and Plain Train Guy. I think you've all subscribed to those guys. So let's share the love, share the community. Hopefully this train is not another 20 minutes away. because I find it difficult to talk continuously for that length of time. Oh, hey, Lyle. Thanks for finding me over on this new stream. Even just this week, I was talking to Noel about scheduling streams and the difficulties that I have with that for sometimes. And then there's just this extra layer of difficulty when you want to schedule a live stream from your mobile phone. Drew's Adventures, no, I haven't actually had him on a live yet. I have been hung out with Drew a bit, I guess I could say, at Christmas party and whatnot. Yeah, I'd love to do a collaboration, but just between you, me, and I don't know, the entire internet, I'm a little bit leery of Urbex channels and linking too much with the Urbex side of things. And again, I'm not judging all of this, but yeah, sometimes the urban trespassing stuff goes a bit meh. But yes, you mentioned that, and I'm really encouraged to see that Drew is finding some exploring mojo that doesn't involve walking into homeless crack dens, for want of a better way to describe it. And obviously, with my work and my name and my channel and everything is out there, so I'm really super careful to look after the brand, so to speak. And that's why I guess, you know, people get me working with brands and stuff, because I work very hard to protect brands and look at all the different angles that could possibly happen. So what's happening now, Noel, too, and I don't know whether you can see this, but obviously the light is dropping, and so everything's compensating for that. And we're starting to see a bit of pixelation. We're starting to see a bit of blur. So I don't know what this train's going to look like. Perhaps what I'll do is head over under the light here and get this camera set back up on the tripod. And we may find that we actually are able to see the train as it goes past. Oh yeah, no, I heard from the Coffs Harbour Library today as well. So lock in a time there, and we'll catch up there at the library at Coffs Harbour. Not sure what they want to talk to me about, but it would be great to meet you and meet one of the curators at the Coffs Library there, and perhaps we can talk further about, you know, projects down the track. You know, because I did the British American Tramway, or not British American, British something, I've forgotten off the top of my head, British Australian Tramway. Then also did the Dorrigo to Glenray line. That book, The Banana Coast Limited, is definitely the Bible of railways around the Coffs area. And perhaps in the future, we will do a video on, I did want to do a video actually on the lines from, say, Urunga up through to Glenray. I would also like to do the Red Hill tunnels at one stage, quite legendary tunnels there at Coffs Harbour. But it's really hard to get to these days, if not basically impossible to get to. I'm going to mount this back on the tripod now, and instead of spinning the camera around 3 times to screw it on, I'm just going to put the foot on. And we'll do it properly without getting everyone dizzy. Problem is now I just can't see the bloody thing. Come on. Get on there. Right, there we go. Right. now that we've hooked that on, we're onto the tripod now. I'm just going to try and find a spot that gives us some light. But at the same time, doesn't make me look like I want to get killed by a train. One day, I hopefully will find a copy of this book for sale. Oh, Kane, interestingly enough, too, I did find a copy of The Overland, Callahan's book, The Overland, for sale. It's in a case at the National Railway Museum, and it's only $80. This obsession can get really expensive, but for an out-of-print book, even just being able to find it. This looks closer than it is, JK. I estimate there's about 2 meters between me and the edge of the platform. So I would definitely always be standing behind the white line. So we're sort of at that point now. I did hear a train horn, so they're making their way over Manham Road and stuff. Now I'm going to turn the microphone off, folks, because this microphone just kills ambient noise. Can you just let me know if there's sound coming through, because I'm not using the wireless mic now? So, excellent, cool. Hopefully now this microphone won't mangle the sound and you won't all want to rip your headphones off and run for your lives. Here comes the lights, trucks are rumbling. It's go time. Yes, Harvey, funny you should mention that. We'll see how this goes. What, you want more trains? Right, there we go. Maybe I should flip my camera around. So that's it, folks. I'm going to give the 5-minute warning from now because got to head home. Doesn't get much better than that. From a channel that doesn't do train spotting, right, to becoming very quickly some kind of train spotting channel. I don't know how that works, but yeah, back at it again. I learn how to turn this camera around properly. Whoops. There we go again. Okay. G'day, Luke. Welcome aboard. Tailem Bend is an excellent spot, and I need to work my contacts to see if I can get into the Murraylands train museum that they've got going on out there. There's a lot of places in Australia where grown men like to play trains, and they don't like anybody else to come and play trains with them. Having said that, I think you'll be impressed with the guys at the Blair signal box. Anyway, I want to wrap this stream up now. There's some rustling in the bushes there, and I probably should scarper and make my way home. So I want to thank everybody who come on board. I can't actually see everybody that's been in the stream, but thank you for coming on board, and I'll see you all next week. Cheers.